Yeah.
Are you not doing a countdown?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Keith Lemon. Say your name.
Yeah, Tommy Nice.
And welcome to Keith and Tom's Movie Mumblings. Mumbling team.
Keith and Tom, mumbling for you.
Hello and welcome to Keith and Tom's Movie Mumblings, where we talk about films. Suspension of disbelief, Tom. Full lot of the Brat Pack.
Yeah, you got
and such, and mumble about films. That's what we do.
mumbling.
That graphic, Tom, is incredibly shit.
Yeah,
So I did the little drawing and sent it to Tom, and he says, "Yeah, I'll animate it." He went like this with it.
that's it. That's animation.
And I put a blue background on it so he can key it over something exciting. He didn't. He just kept blue background on. Just went like that. If anyone wants to do us some graphics that's better than that, it will be good.
I'm trying to bring back that old 80s feel. Like, what's it
What
called?
with your record collection in background that's not at the right angle for to actually be there.
I'm at home this time. Just I thought.
Yeah. Oh, your house. That's your house.
Just a few tunes. So like, if we get bored, I can just go through some tunes and play them in the background.
What's that record at the back there? I can see a man's face.
This.
Get one of those records.
Oh, no, I'll do it later. Do you know what I mean?
I do it later. So we're going to do another top 5 movies, and Tom said it would be better or different if we did an alternative top 5, because you've heard me spouting on about Back to the Future and Lost Boys and Gremlins and whatnot.
And Teen
so
Wolf.
Teen Wolf. I've decided to pick my alternative top 5, the films that you might not expect me to enjoy. Are you ready, Tom? These are the ones I've chosen. You're always ready.
Teddy.
Okay, my number 5 alternative top film is Rachel Papers, starring Ione Skye and Dexter Fletcher.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about this film, Tom? Do you want me to tell you the peripherals?
Well, what I remember is Dexter Fletcher used to be in a thing called Press Gang. It was a kids' like TV show about the press, and they were like
with Nadia Swalalalala's sister, Julia
Swalalalala.
Yeah. So this is not Press Gang, Tom. This is Rachel Papers. And what it is about, if you don't know what it's about, let me tell you what it's about. What it's about is Dexter Fletcher trying to get off with Ione Skye. It's all his little plans that he does and his props that he puts in his room to get off with the woman of his dreams. And then he finally gets off with his woman of his dreams. And he's like, oh, I'm not fussed.
Oh.
And it's like, it's just the chase was the thrill, you know. But Ione Skye back in the day, and she's still a lovely lady because I follow her on Instagram, but she was super pin-up lady. No. And I'm sure that everybody thought the same about Dexter Fletcher. I know my missus likes Dexter Fletcher. There's me dog barking. But Dexter Fletcher is a handsome man, but when he was younger, he was incredibly handsome.
Yeah, he's got a unique face, and he got a really unique type face.
Well, now he looks like a cool young Santa Claus, but he's a very good director. My dog's barking. Be quiet! Keeping it real. He's a really good director now, is Dexter. He directed Rocket Man. I don't know if you're aware that I was in Rocket Man.
I do recall such a movie about the Elton John. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in it.
The Rocket Man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are.
Yeah.
You've got some big.
I say these are incredibly stylish shoes, as designed by myself. I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
There was a full scene, but it got cut down to one line. And then thanks to Dexter, he kept that one line in, because I'm sure there was one bit where I was going to get booted out, but he says, we can't kick Keith out, can we? But anyway, Rachel Papers, if you've not seen it, I highly recommend this film. It's a really good movie. Don't watch it with your mum or your gran, because there's some saucy scenes in a bath.
Right.
Yeah, and now you're thinking.
You're
thinking, aren't you? Now I'll go back. Now I'll go back to Blockbusters and I'll rent Rachel Papers.
Well, here's the thing about that, right? Is that Rachel's papers then, or is it a paper what Rachel were doing, or something? What's the title? What's the meaning of
the title's Rachel Papers, Tom. I told you.
Yeah, but what is it? Is she called Rachel, and is it
about Rachel? She's called Rachel.
What about the papers?
Who would Rachel be?
But I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Well, what about the papers?
No, he's called Rachel. He's called Rachel, Tom.
There's no wrong with that. But the point, what I'm trying to say is, what's the papers then? What's the papers?
Can't
got to do with
remember. You said pick some films that not many people might know. So I remember liking this.
All right, Rachel Papers. Was it a good
Yeah, it's
film?
a great film.
Is it
And it's got James Spader in.
Oh, again with James. Oh, it's got Jonathan Price. There was
Yeah.
and Dexter Fletcher was in two smoking dogs and a barrel of crisps. Smoking barrels. Smoking barrels.
That was on purpose.
No, half of that was on purpose, but I genuinely forgot it. Smoking barrels.
Two packets of smoking crisps and a pint of lager.
No, I've forgotten it now. That film with them
Lock,
cockneys.
stock and two smoking barrels.
Yeah, that's it. That film with the cockneys. Lock, stock and two smoking barrels. Something I can't
Number
remember
5, Rachel Papers. Go find it on some streaming device. Okay, number 4. You would have put this at number 1, I think. Where it's the King of Comedy starring Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that is my film. I do enjoy that film. I think that's his best film. For me, anyway, I have to say.
You find it a humorous film, don't you? Because
I find it
Is
hilarious.
it supposed to be a comedy?
I think it's a comedy. I think
dark comedy.
Yeah.
You don't think it influenced Joker? Because it's very much like the Joker, I thought.
Yeah, the Joker's like.
I know the Joker's not funny. It's really dark.
It's not funny. It's like serious. It's like a guy who's got problems and really somebody should have addressed them. Where like with that guy, he's crazy. But do you know what he is? He's like the archetype for like what celebrity is now. Because like he's all faking it till he's making it, and then he makes it.
Faking it till he kidnaps Jerry Lewis to get on Jerry Lewis' show.
Well, all right. Well, apart from that, is that
what you got to do to get to Love Island?
Well, yeah, probably.
You got to kidnap the commissioner and go, get me on. Look, I'm buff. Look at me tan. He goes up to there, but it's still a good tan. It's got Sandra Bernhard in this film as well. She's really good in it, don't you think?
Yeah, she used to date Madonna at that time.
Did she?
Period, yeah.
That's the sort of angle it would be at if it's on a TV show, wouldn't it, as a graphic?
That probably inspired me to say I wanted to cut out, and they're expensive cutouts. They're not cheap. So, but again, moving.
What are you talking about, cutouts?
In the scene, there's cutouts.
Oh, so you might not have seen it, Tom. What he does, he wants to be a big stand-up comedian. In his home, in his bedroom, he has stand-up cutout audience, an audience of standees. And he performs to them, and his mum shouts from, Rupert, your tea's ready. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to finish this show.
And he goes, yeah, man.
And that's what he's talking about, standees.
But here's the thing. That's where that phrase, in your mum's basement, comes from. Because he used to do the show in his basement.
What phrase is that?
And you heard that phrase?
I'll see you weekend then, yeah, in your mum's basement.
No, not like that. I mean, when people say that guy... He probably lives in his mum's...
What you doing tomorrow? I'm in your mum's basement.
No, like, what's that film?
What phrase?
With them two guys, the guy with Shrek and that lot. Wayne's World. In Wayne's World, where they do the film from the basement, and it's in their mum's basement, and that's where that phrase come from initially, the King of Comedy.
What phrase? No one says in your mum's basement.
When people say that guy's...
Are you going to watch me show? Oh, yeah, in your mum's basement.
No.
Like my new jacket? Yeah, it looked good in your mum's basement.
All right, I'll be quiet now.
I've never heard that phrase.
No, when they say that person lives in the mum's basement, when they say, oh, that guy, he still lives in his mum's basement. That's what that comes
in America?
From. Yeah, in America. That's what I was saying. That phrase where they say people live in...
Hey, he still lives in his mother's basement.
Yeah.
You schmuck.
He lives in it. I can't do the accent, but he lives in his mum's basement. So
that famous phrase,
hey, he still lives in his mother's basement,
which came from the film King of Comedy.
Yeah,
Jerry Lewis, Sandra Bernhard, and Robert De Niro. Is it well known?
It should be.
I don't think it's that known. I mean, amongst movie lovers, it is.
But isn't that really
not normal punters?
Yeah.
That just go see films. I don't think it's that well known.
It's because people probably don't think of him as being comedic, and he's like the way he's like manic, but
it's not a comedy as in like a comedy, is it? It's not like a Jim Carrey film.
No, it's not a zany comedy. In fact, it's more about TV and like. When somebody is funny and like when they're off camera and all the stuff off camera, because Jerry Lewis. I nearly said Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lewis. He plays the like nighttime. He's like a nighttime American host.
He plays Jonathan Ross, doesn't he?
It's kind of like Jonathan Ross or Jimmy Fallon. If anybody from the States is watching this, hello, people from the Americas.
Hey, if anyone's watching in America, if anyone's watching it at all,
yeah. Well, that's it. We might do it here. We might get about 200 views in about 3 days.
Me and you afterwards. Yeah. Look nice to me out there. That was number 4. Number 3, I love this film. It's part of the breakdance genre. It's Beat Street. Yeah. The soundtrack for this is amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest soundtracks of that time. Beat Street was more kind of, for want of a better word, gritty.
Well, can I give you some trivia? You're always giving me trivia.
Absolutely.
So they'd already made breakdance, and then Beat Street came out, and then the makers of breakdance went, "Oh no, ours looks like Fame. We've got to make it grittier."
All right.
So they went back and filmed some more scenes to make breakdance grittier, even though it's not like gritty.
All right. No, it's like Disney dance.
No. Yeah.
It is.
It's like Sesame Street, isn't it? Grover's going to pop up and go, do this. Yeah, they went back and made breakdance more gritty.
Oh, wow.
Because they saw this and they went, this ain't going to play with kids.
Well, I can't imagine what they grittified. It must have
put
been...
some dirt on the trainers.
No, Pumas. Oh, very good. But I haven't seen them before. Are they special?
Well, you have now, you cheeky pig. Yeah, so the plot line in Beat Street is basically Ramon is a graffiti artist. He wants to get the white train, and then he does get the white train, but his nemesis spit and sprays all over it, and he goes, "That spit's a biter, man. Yeah. I'm going to get that biter." And he gets him, but then he falls on the train track and gets electrocuted.
On
so
the
then they do
rail.
a big sort of concert for him.
Third rail.
Eh?
The third rail in America underneath the tubes. They say don't step on the third rail because the third rail's the power one with electric. So that's why it gets.
Is that a phrase as well?
Like yeah, so they say it's the third.
What are you doing at weekend? Mind off that third rail. Oh yeah, in your mum's basement, you pig. Hey, my number 2 alternative top 5 DVD is, it's not all, these aren't alternative movies at all. They're just choices that perhaps you might think I might not make.
Yeah, a bit more off the cuff.
Man on the Moon.
That's Jim Carrey. It's an interesting film. It's one of these things where, because I'm not American, I don't really.
Aren't you? Your mum's basement.
Wait,
you schmuck.
I'm only kidding. Cause I'm from New York. I'm from New Yorkshire.
Man on the Moon starring Jim Carrey and obviously loads of cameos from the original Taxi TV series.
We only really, in the UK, know him for Taxi, where a lot of people know him for a lot of...
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
You say Kaufman or Kaufman?
It's Kaufman.
I say Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. But a lot of people probably don't really know that guy in the UK, where he was something, because he was like...
Well, he wasn't even Andy Kaufman to me when I was a kid. He was Foreign Man in Taxi.
Yeah.
Lapka.
Nobody would have known any different. People would have just thought, oh, that's how he talked, because that's what you would assume.
Yeah.
But he was like...
Thank you very much.
He was like, in America, like the Monty Python type thing, because American humor's kind of... It's different. We're a bit more sarky, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, well, the jokes, we're all in on the joke, where we're like, is this a joke?
Steal a phrase from you. It's blended a little bit, Tom, simply because of you people like Ricky Gervais, I think, that has made it big over there. And obviously with his comedy stylings, I think our humour has translated a little bit over there.
Yeah.
And I think American humour has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy Kaufman, who played Lapka in Taxi, in the 70s, early 80s. This is his life story, played by Jim Carrey, who totally embodied the character of Andy Kaufman. There's a documentary about it on Netflix.
Oh, is he really like that then?
He said, I'm not going to play this movie as me. What would Andy do? And he said, there's a rush where he just suddenly became Andy Kaufman, and he caused havoc on set and was Andy Kaufman all the way through. And if you look at this documentary, you see the bamboozlement of people like Danny DeVito saying it's just so weird. It's so weird because there's Andy Kaufman alive again.
I've just realised something. Danny DeVito plays his agent in that film, doesn't he? Danny DeVito was in Taxi with Andy Kaufman. So that scene, he's not in any of them scenes, is he? Because that wouldn't make no sense.
He's not in the taxi scenes. No, he's not.
Yeah, but that's strange because he was the main guy in Taxi.
One of the main ones, didn't he? He ran it, didn't he?
So that's kind of a really strange flip that they chose him to do that.
He also plays Tony Clifton, who was Andy Kaufman's alter ego.
Yeah, like a kind of game host or something, where he
like a cabaret host, he is, I guess.
And I think
some people believe that he's not dead, Andy Kaufman, and he still performs today as Tony Clifton. He wears, if you don't know what I'm talking about, he wears prosthetics, so you wouldn't recognise him if it was him. I doubt it's him. It's someone pretending to be Andy Kaufman being Tony Clifton.
Oh, there is some guy doing it.
Yeah.
He was doing really weird out stuff on live TV. And,
he was wrestling women.
And I think I mean like on live TV, and I think he was responsible for why they put in like a 10-second delay or something like that.
He would start fights with the host and all sorts because he wasn't too fussed about getting laughs. He just wanted reaction from people.
Yeah, his like big thing, what made him blow up was he came on stage as a stand-up, and then he just put on a record player and played a tune, and was just like that.
Mighty Mouse.
And each time the tune stopped, he was like that, and then he would,
"Here I come to save the day,"
and then he would just
miming
like
the Mighty Mouse theme tune.
Yeah, and he would just standing there like that.
And people, what?
And then people,
people go, like, "Hey, am I supposed to laugh at this? In your mum's basement, on the third rail, or whatever."
They say, "I'll get some coffee too."
My number one alternative DVD is Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's a right out there film. I've seen bits of that. For some reason, I've not seen that whole film.
You've not seen the whole of Napoleon Dynamite?
No, I've just seen bits, but it's been hilarious, the bits I've seen, and I've said, right, I'm going to have to get a hold of that film to watch the whole thing. They do some farm work, and like, then these farmers give them like milk and eggs, and it's just terrible.
The hardest thing to do with this film is to sell it to someone who's not seen it, because they go, "What's it about?" I go, "Well, he tries to help his mate Pedro become class president." Yeah, well, so what happens? Well, that's what it's about. I can't tell you what happens. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's a real outsider film.
Another weird thing about it, like, where are they? What year is this supposed to be?
It's got a Wes Anderson type vibe, and that was the guy I was trying to remember on our first episode, if you ever want to go and watch it. And it was
Don't bother.
The tracksuit thing, the Royal Tenenbaums. It's weird, but it's definitely worth watching because it's funny. I think a lot of British humour. That's what King of the Comedy is like. It's like British humour.
King of the Comedy? What's King of the Comedy? Get in your mum's basement, man.
It's King of the Comedy.
King of Comedy.
King of Comedy.
King of the Comedy.
The King of Comedy. The King of Comedy, actually.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of thing where...
You say Suicide Squad, I say the Suicide Squad. You say Suicide Squad, I say the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. It's kind of whole thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I really like this film.
That is a brilliant...
John Heder, isn't it? Is it John Heder? Is that how you say his name?
John Heder.
Who plays Napoleon.
He's a Mormon.
That's his real hair.
He's a Mormon. He's like some...
He's had his hair permed for this.
A Mormon.
He walked around with his hair permed. He's got his brother in it, Kip, who goes out La Fonda.
Yeah, and I remember his brother's meant to be some kind of cool guy, but he's not cool. He's
not a cool guy. He's a technology guy. He has a song, doesn't he? Yes, I love technology, but not as much as you see. Always and forever. Always and forever. I can't remember the rest of it. Well, I love this film. And also, they did a short of this film. There was a little short feature, which got them, I don't know if you say the commission for the actual full feature, but the short version of this film is basically Napoleon Dynamite going onto the school bus and getting his little wrestler figures, which he puts on fishing wire and throws them out the back window and just watches them bounce about on the floor. And then someone said, "Yeah, we'll make a movie out of that."
Who directed that?
Your mum in a basement. He does a lot of drawings in this as well, which I feel like they're quite reminiscent of Vic Reeves when he does his drawings.
Oh,
when they're slightly, that's definitely like a Vic Reeves drawing, don't you think? Huh?
Oh yeah, but he releases his drawings now, doesn't he, or something?
Yes, he releases them into the wild.
I mean, he puts them out, doesn't he, or something? Doesn't he do like?
He puts them out. He puts them out just
what
before he
do they
goes
call
to
it
bed.
again? Exhibitions.
So number 5, we have the Rachel Papers. What's the message, Tom?
It's about papers, but more about a girl called Rachel.
We have Beat Street at number 4.
And that's hip hop, all day, hip hop.
We have the King of Comedy.
Funny, if you like funny.
We have The Man on the Moon.
Right, a film for most people about a guy from Taxi.
We
Interesting.
have Napoleon Dynamite.
Now, an outsider film, which is a really good watch, from MTV, which used to play music.
That's too long, Tom. That's too long. And if we cut out some of the in this and some of the blank spaces where you're thinking, this will be a really good one this week.
Yeah.
And let's hope that 16 people watch this. I was Keith Lemon. He was Tom Nice. There he is. Putting his... join us next time for more movie mumblings when we'll be discussing... Tom, what we're going to be discussing next? I thought it was going to come up with a quick idea. That's another blank space we're going to have to cut out. Let's do our top 5 horror films.
Yeah.
Scary times.
Oh,
I don't see you for a week. I see you for a window. Good luck with your business.